But as that curtain before closed, the good news is that every Mario game, I believe, has a curtain, and that means we are opening the curtain to our next run. Let's welcome in mchan338 as they play new Super Mario Bros. 2 Warpless. mchan, what have you got for us?
All right. Hello, everybody. Yeah, my name is mchan338, and welcome to my speedrun of New Super Mario Bros. 2. You might have caught on to my run earlier this morning with Link's Awakening, and now this time I'm running some Mario. I'm very excited to be running this game. This is my favorite speed game, so it's always a pleasure to be representing this game onto the marathon. Um, so yeah. Time actually does not start on file select. It actually starts on the world map, which means I have to get past the intro cutscene, which only takes about 50 seconds, and this will give me time to give a brief rundown of the run. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through the intro cutscene, and then I will count down for time. So here we go. All right, so yeah, this is New Super Mario Bros. 2. The category is warpless, and so in any percent, we use warp cannons that are on the world map that allow the player to skip large portions of the game as well as skipping worlds. So you in any percent runs about 26 minutes long. Warpless does not use the use of warp cannons at all. So the run's about twice as long. You get to see more of the game, and that's the kind of speed. Those are the kinds of speedrun categories that I like, where you get to see more content as opposed to just beating the games as fast as you can. Um, so hopefully it should be fun. So time's actually about to begin pretty soon. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and start the countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the first 4 levels of the run are always played in every single category, but right off the bat, in 1-1, it's going to be a little bit different, as I'm actually going to be getting star coins. Now, this is not a 100% run, but the reason I'm getting star coins is because in the world maps, there are these 5 star coin signs where you can spend star coins on for mushroom houses or just a different part of the map. And sometimes in the different parts of the map, it can lead to either a faster path within the world or lead to faster levels. And so right off the bat, the first star coin sign that we're going to be spending star coins at is actually right away here in the first world. So the trying to get route in some of the fastest star coins that aren't too far out of the way is a bit precise right off the bat. It's not too bad. I did get 2 star coins in the first level. I'm not going to be getting any in this level because it's a little bit too far. All the star coins are a little too far out of the way in this level. I will continue to get star coins in the next level, which is 1-3. But also 1-3 introduces the main power-up of the game. So every Mario game kind of has like a signature power-up, and in this game, the signature power-up is the raccoon leaf, the super leaf. If you remember it from Super Mario Bros. 3, it makes a return in this game. And so, much like in Super Mario Bros. 3, the Super Leaf allows Mario to turn into a raccoon. You can glide around, making platforming really easy. But unlike in Super Mario Bros. 3, where it's like really slow to use in that game's speedrun, it's actually like the best power up to use in this game. You're about to see why. There are some tricks that we can do with the Super Leaf that just makes it like the primary power up that we use. So we got the Super Leaf, and as you can see on the bottom left of the top screen, we have a P meter. And when you fill up the P meter at top speed, then you're able to get P speed. And with P speed, you're able to fly. And while I'm flying, as you can see with all these spins, it's not to show off here, these spin flies, which is what this trick is called, allows me to preserve my momentum while I'm flying. Because if you're just flying normally, you actually lose horizontal speed for vertical height. And so doing all these spins allow me to just keep my speed, and it makes most of the skips possible in this game. So coming up in our first tower, the tower levels are pretty technical, as you have to the point of this is to not to go forward as fast as you can, but it's trying to climb high as fast as you can instead. So these are very technical levels. Okay, not too bad. And then it is time to fight the boss. So the boss of every tower is Reznor. So if you've played Super Mario World, then you might know this boss. You fight him the same way as in Mario World. You just hit underneath him, just like that. Now, unlike in Super Mario World, where every Reznor fight is exactly the same every single time, Reznor actually has some different strategies for every tower. So every tower we're not going to be fighting Reznor the same way. So there's a little bit more creativity with the fights. So that was the first half of World 1. Now we're moving on to the second half. So we currently have 4 star coins at the moment. We're about to get the 5th one here in 1-4. And this is going to set us up to have 5 star coins, as the next level that we're going to be doing after this level is not going to be 1-5. Instead, it's actually going to be 1-A, because the next level is a water level, which is automatically slower. So this makes getting the star coins worth it. 1-5 loses about 50 seconds over doing 1-A. So it's very slow. If we have an opportunity to skip doing water levels, then it's we take those. So 1-4, pretty straightforward level, and now we're going to go ahead and spend the 5 star coins down over here. Saying no to anytime the game asks me to save is faster than actually saving the game. And here we go in 1-A. Pretty straightforward level otherwise. Nice. That's a very precise P-speed build-up there in order to skip using the pipe cannon in order to get up to this part, saving 2 seconds of the level. And spinning while falling off is faster than just regularly falling off by ever so slightly, so saving a few more frames towards the end of the level as I fall in between those like pipe maze. And now we have the castle, which is kind of the final level after every world. So here we go. And 1-Castle also has another precise P-speed setup in order to get P-speed, in order to fly up and get a star coin. As the next set of 5 star coins that we need is in World 2. So once again, the star coin routing is pretty precise right away in the beginning of the run. We actually get a total of 15 star coins throughout this run. And we need all 15 of those star coins within the first 3 worlds. So the boss of every castle is going to be a Koopaling. So the first boss is Roy Koopa. Now, bosses, if you've played Mario games, then you know that if you fight bosses the same way, then you'll get consistent results. So as a result here, I know exactly when Roy is going to come out of the shell, so I just kind of hang around. And then right as soon as he comes out of the shell, then I'm able to hit him right away. And then just rinse and repeat the process. And that's the fight. And then the other optimization I'm doing is I'm actually flying up to get the key as it descends down, because it descends down very slowly. So you want to be able to fly up to the key instead of waiting for it to fall down. So World 1 completed. And now we're moving on to the second world, where the second world is going to start to challenge us a little bit more. World 1 in a typical Mario game is like the introductory world that gets you familiar with the game. But World 2 is going to start to challenge us a little bit, as you'll be seeing more tricks than what we saw so far. So this would be a good time to talk more about P-speed. So if you played Super Mario Bros. 3, you know that as soon as you start flying while you have P-speed, then the P meter actually depletes very slowly without really any way of getting it back. But as you can see, if you pay attention, that whenever I land on the ground, the P meter actually goes back to full. So you can actually just keep P-Speed throughout basically the whole level. And that's another reason how the tricks are possible throughout the run. So up next in 2-2, we're going to be getting 2 star coins here. There is a vertical section halfway within the level that I'm actually going to skip because there's a vertical section where you have to use moving platforms in order to ride up to the upper part of the level, but you can just fly up to the upper part instead like this, and then also get that star coin in the process as well, because we do need another 5 star coins for the next level. The next level is 2-A instead of 2-3. 2-A actually saves 6 seconds over 2-3. However, it is much harder than 2-3. So I'm very likely to die if I make any mistakes here, so wish me luck, chat.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Alright, so I need to set up a P-Speed very precisely right away in the beginning. Okay, good. That's the hardest part, and then the rest is just precise platforming. Hover down over here, grab that star coin. And I am landing on the very left of these moving platforms in order to run with the moving platforms in order to gain a little bit of extra speed in order to save a little bit more time. So there we go. So that was 2-A. Actually, the very last part there actually is actually much harder than I made that look, because that fuzzy that I just hit can actually sometimes hit you, and if you do get hit by him, then you die, and then you gotta do the rest of the level without a leaf, which is a little bit unfortunate. But now here we are at 2-Tower. I'm getting that extra leaf there because you cannot beat that first cycle. This is a cycle-based level. So these moving blocks are always moving the moment the level starts. So the cycle I'm going for is a cycle where if I make it up to the top without making any mistakes, then I gotta wait. Then I can just wait a second for that very last part of those blocks to move up. So as you can see, I kind of slowed down a little bit in order to get a little bit more of a favorable position with those Goombas by the time the blocks rise up. That way they're not in an awkward position. There's also another cycle that's even more precise, where you do the similar movement that I just did, but cut the jumps a little bit more tight in order to beat that very last cycle. But that is a very hard strat that's not marathon safe. So I took the second fastest cycle within that level. So as you can see in the end of that tower, where this time we have 4 Reznors instead of 2 in World 1, so a little bit more difficult in that level, but not that much harder. So this is our first Ghost House. So Ghost House have kind of unique gimmicks within them. So the gimmick of 2-Ghosts is this big boo that's actually chasing us, and you actually want to be facing right, because if you face left looking at the ghost, then the ghost actually stops, and it actually stops the progression of the level. So technically, you can make an autoscroller worse by facing the wrong way. And well, I do have to face left a little bit right there in order to reveal this hidden vine block, and this is going to reveal the secret exit. So this is warpless, which means I'm not allowed to take warp cannons. So it's essentially like going through the game the intended way. However, secret exits are allowed. Secret exits that allow us to skip levels throughout the world is allowed. So we're gonna take the secret exit. Now it'll take us to 2-B, which is nice because the 2 other levels that I'll otherwise have to do in order to get to the castle is they're both very hard levels. So what we have instead is 2-B, which is a bit easier. In 100%, this level is very hard, one of the hardest levels in the game. But when you don't have to get the star coins, then all you gotta do is just simply fly over everything. and not have to worry about it. So what becomes a very hard level just is a very simple level in this run. So there we go. And now Two Dash Castle. Two Dash Castle has the first major skip of the run. So normally you have to ride across a large pool of lava with a giant button, but with precise flying, I'm going to skip all that. So here we go.
Mind if I jump in real quick?
Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've had a couple of people join us in. Welcome in to Fireside Pride 2024. We're raising money for Point of Pride. It's a trans-led 501c3 nonprofit organization that specializes in different forms of direct support for trans folks, such as supplying free chest binders and femme shapewear. You can use !donate in the chat. We've got a couple of incentives open, including right now a target to see cutscene percent for Turok 3 that is currently at 105 out of $200 needed. We'd love to see that met hopefully by the end of this run, because that is the run coming up next.
All right. So yeah, so I got the skip first try, thankfully. So as this is the first difficult part, the first difficult level of the run. I probably said that about 2-A, but beginners would take 2-3 when starting out learning this category, because 2-A is very hard. So ideally, if you're starting out, then this would be the first hard level of the run, because failing the 2-castle skip is pretty rough. But now that that's over, now we're moving on to World 3, which is a beach and forest world combined. Kind of unique in that sense, where there's two themes going on. So 3-1 has our first use of a star power. So stars make you invincible, but also additionally it increases our movement speed. And also additionally with stars, some blocks will have a star if you hit them while you have a star, creating a star chain. And so creating a star chain within this level is pretty useful, because as you can see, with all those flying cheeps flying around within this level will be very annoying. That was a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. So yeah, up next is 3-A, which will be our first water level. I did say earlier that if we have an option to skip water levels, then we try to take them. The next level up there on the top is also a water level, but doing taking the bottom path is faster, because as you can see on the top, we would have to do 2 levels instead of 1 level. So you just gotta. So this is much better in that case. So this is kind of an auto-scroller, because the level is constantly pushing us forward. We have to move along with the currents here. And that's pretty much all there is to say about this level, so if you have any more announcements, then this would be a pretty good time.
Of course. Reminder chat, we can use !donate. We are watching right now Fireside Pride 2024, and this is an absolutely lovely run of New Super Mario Bros. 2 Warpless. As we throw in those donations, remember that you can put your money towards both the open polls and also the targets. And so just like this is Super Mario Bros. 2, you can get 2 different things for your donations, both that bid war and those targets. We'd love to see that Turok 3 met, because, chat, we also have that Signalis secret ending open, and I'd love to hit both of those. So, what if, consider, we meet that Turok really, really quick, so that we can start putting some love towards that Signalis run. I would love to see what the secret ending is. My notes for the secret ending are, it's a secret. And if you want to know what that means, let's make sure we get both of those met. Let's figure out what cutscene percent means. Let's figure out what secret ending means. It's going to be a good time. I promise you. I have the runner of the Torok saying the cutscenes, they are ridiculous and you will love them. And I fully trust her that that is true and correct.
So I guess something else that we can talk about is that you might notice if you paid attention on the world map, there's a coin block that's following me. And the coin block shows up every time you accumulate 200,000 points. And so what the coin block does is when you pick it up, then you have the coin block on your head, and whenever you move around, you get coins. Additionally, it acts as a bit of a shield to where when you get hit, you're only going to lose the coin block without losing any of your power-ups, and there's no animation for when you actually get hit. So we actually exploit that in one part. However, I'm getting this coin block right here, primarily for safety, and it loses no time for me to get it. Because one thing I didn't talk about yet with Reznor fights is that there is a small bit of RNG with the Reznor fights where they can randomly shoot a fireball, and sometimes when they shoot a fireball can be at a very inconvenient part to when you're trying to do an optimal strategy against the Reznor fights. So in the off chance that I get unlucky in this upcoming Reznor fight, then the coin block will be worth it. The other thing that's worth talking about is one of the main selling points of this game is getting lots of coins. So somebody in chat alluded to it earlier, and that is that I have my external coin count. You'll see on the next time I'm back in the world map, but the external coin count says 9,999,999, and that's actually important within the speedrun itself because anytime I complete a castle or a tower, then the game has to count up my coins and then ask me to save. So you lose about a second each time whenever you complete a castle or a tower. So if you max out your coin count, then you essentially save time for free because the game can't count up those coins anymore. In this category, you save about 10 seconds. So it's not super impactful when trying to get a very good time. But if you really want to compete for a top time in this game, then you're going to be spending many hours trying to grind those coins off, assuming that you have a fresh cartridge of this game. As it is cartridge based and accumulate throughout your cartridge.
It was very interesting when you had mentioned that part of the game, like going fast, was actually collecting those million coins. So it is interesting that it's an overflow value essentially to get those.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so this level has a lot of moving platforms that you're supposed to ride in order to get to the next part, but we can just skip all of them. Alright, so that's another precise P-speed build-up. You can see how precise that is and what would happen if you fail it. So you would die if you jump a little bit too late, and then if you jump a little bit too early, then you don't get the P-speed, and then you probably have to take the platform to the next part. And then over here, you're supposed to ride the platform all the way up, but I can just fly up instead like this. And then I need to keep my Super Leaf because I need it in order to reveal the secret exit of this level. I'm going to face backwards so I can lure this boo out of the way. And yeah, so you need to use the Super Leaf in order to break those blocks in order to reveal the secret exit here, as that's going to skip the next level that you have to do normally, and which saves quite a lot of time because the next level otherwise is a water level. So instead, we just go straight to the castle. So the castle has these razors that we have to do some pretty precise dodging. There's some pretty precise strats that you can do that top runners do in order to save a little bit of time, but they're very hard to do. Would be very crazy to do in a marathon. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little bit safe, and then hopefully I can get this. Nice. So that P speed's gonna allow me to fly right past that giant saw, and then fly over through the rest of this room, over all of those obstacles, and go straight into the boss. So the boss is Wendy O. Koopa, and what Wendy will do is she's going to flood the boss room, and you cannot hit Wendy while she is underwater. However, if you have the Fire Flower, then you're able to shoot fireballs and hit her that way, which can save time, but it is not worth grabbing a Fire Flower just to save time in this fight. So we just wait for the water to come on down, and then just hit Wendy, and then we rinse and repeat this fight. Okay, so as we make our way to World 4, this is where the run starts to get a bit interesting, and that is that everything's pretty straightforward so far, but World 4 is where we start to skip large parts within the world itself. Now, this is still warpless, and I'm doing everything I can without using warp cannons. So, World 4, we actually do 4 levels within this world. You can kind of count on the bottom screen how many levels there are within World 4. That's a lot of levels, but we actually only do 4 of them in this run. And that's because there is a secret exit in the next level after 4-1 that allows us to skip a lot of World 4. Otherwise, this would be the longest world in the run, as this has the most amount of levels out of any world in the game. But we only do 4 of them. So we went from longest world in the game to shortest world in the run. We just gotta go through world 4-1. The only noteworthy thing within 4-1 is these mini Goombas that kind of slow you down when you get latched onto them, as they'll slow you down as well as reduce your jump height. But with the Super Leaf, you can kind of just spin them out of your way. So they didn't cause too many problems for me this time. But now we have 4-Ghosts, which is we're gonna get the secret exit in order to allow us to skip a lot of World 4. And this is another auto-scroller, so we have more time for any more announcements.
Of course. We've got some questions actually in chat. We were previously in that forest stage, and we were wondering, what do you call the purple fluid that's in the forest stages?
Oh man, it's supposed to be poison water, but some people have given it nicknames, as in like grape soda. I think I like grape soda. I think that's a nice nickname for the poison water.
Drew, I think chat, if you'd like to, send in some donations. Mark them towards that Torok incentive, and also tell us what you would call the purple liquid in the Mario level. A reminder that we are raising money for Point of Pride, and Point of Pride is a trans-led 501c3 nonprofit organization that specializes in different forms of direct support to trans folks, which is super duper exciting. You can learn more by doing !charity in chat, and if you feel so inclined, !donate to send some money towards their way. And additionally, you can also, if you'd like to apply for one of Point of Pride's grants or garment programs, you can get involved as a donor or volunteer, or just learn more about them. You can visit pointofpride.org. That seems we're in an ice level.
Yeah,
Or
World
I guess
4
a
is
very icy looking level.
Yeah, it's a snow. This is a snow world, so we're gonna be seeing ice levels. Where normally you slip around a lot, but we're going so fast that we don't have to worry about slipping around. You do have to be careful though not to hit those amps because those amps will if you get hit by the amps, it's pretty rough because you get electrocuted. It's the whole animation, then and then you also lose all your momentum. So you lose quite a bit of time getting hit by the amps, but didn't happen. All right, so Four-Dash Castle has a roulette block. So roulette blocks usually contains a random power-up, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a manipulation where if I move in a specific way, then I can manipulate the outcome of this roulette block like that. And I want a star from it because there is, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that I'd have to dodge normally without the star. So the movement's pretty awkward without the star. So it allows us to just tank through a bunch of stuff right there. And then I do a damage boost through that large spiky ball because it's not a good way to dodge it without losing too much time. So I take the damage boost and then I equip my leaf later within the boss fight. And this is Martin Koopa Jr. Very hard fight. Let's do this. So I hit him, and then he's going to do his little move right there, and then he's going to come back up to the top, and then I hit him again, and then rinse and repeat. You have no idea how difficult it is to do this. I did it.
Very clean. Good job.
Thank you very much. Took a lot of work. So World 4 now completed, and now we're moving on to World 5. Another otherwise very long world, but it is another short world, as again, we only do 4 levels. Now, World 5 is probably the hardest world in the run for me, as there's the mistakes that I can make usually result in like several second time losses, and they pretty much add up very fast. So starting off here in 5-1, I want to be careful with all these Koopas here. There's a very well hidden secret exit right here, this hidden vine block. And we go ahead and oh, missed it. That's fine. Yeah, so there's another hidden vine block right there. Again, very well hidden of a secret exit. Oh, nice. There's a slightly faster strat in order to go through those rings of Koopas, but it's very hard to do, so not gonna take my chances. So the next level, which is 5-Ghosts, is another cycle-based level. There are swinging ropes, which are on global cycles, as well as just swinging platforms in general, which are also in global cycles. This whole level in general is just very hard, and it's very awkward when if you mess something up, because then your cycles are at a different position. So fly up here, and this will take us to the secret exit area. Oh. That's fine. Okay. And then I face backwards so I can get that boo out of the way. That hit was a little bit unfortunate, so I have to come up with something else now with this ending. Okay, that was really close. So something I didn't talk about yet is that the way you get fireworks in this game is much different than in any other Mario game. So usually in a Mario game, if the last 2 digits of the in-game timer ends are double digits, as in matching, then you get fireworks. In this game, that still applies. However, the double digits have to match the world that you're in. So in the case there, if the last 2 digits hit 55, then I would have got fireworks. So that was very close there when I got the 56 at the very end. Okay, so another auto scroller. So more things that you want to talk about, Valiant?
Absolutely. We have some donations coming in. We had a $25 donation from Cece. says, are Turok 3's cutscenes actually clips from the 1990s sitcom Dinosaurs? Donate to find out. And that, of course, went towards that Turok 3 incentive. We are now 70% of the way there to getting that cutscene percent. And additionally, was also tagged for the 8-bit soundtrack for DuckTales Remastered, Choose the Soundtrack, which is happening tomorrow. And we also had a $10 donation from Sporadic Erratic, who answered the call on what is that purple liquid in the jungle levels. Sporadic Erratic says, obviously that's the schmooze from the My Little Pony movie, Nothing Can Stop It.
Ah, I see.
Thank you, CC and Sporadic, for those donations. We really appreciate it. In chat, we are so close. As I said, we are 70% of the way there towards meeting that incentive for Turok 3. I guarantee you that we want to see this incentive get met. And once we meet that, we can start putting some energy towards the Signalis run secret ending, which is right after that Turok run. So let's get the ball rolling. Let's get some more energy going as we wrap up this super duper fun Mario block we've had going on.
Okay, so the next level, this would be a good time to talk about the next level. So 5-Castle, much like 2-Castle, has a major skip. So normally, you're supposed to ride these moving grates across lava, and there's 3 parts within the level. But with precise flying, we're actually able to skip all 3 of those parts. And so it's very difficult. If I mess up, then I'm probably gonna die. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. And that's 3. Okay. So there is a way to skip having to ride this one, but it's very hard. We call it the YOLO, because it's essentially you actually fly right through that bone piranha that I had to fly right under. And if that bone piranha hits you, then you're dead. But if you can get it, then it saves 3 seconds. With the price of losing 40 seconds. Okay, so what I did at the very beginning of this fight is I did a ground pound. Then while Ludwig hit me, I buffered an up input in order to cancel the ground pound animation in order to give myself just a little bit of height in order to hit Ludwig before he jumps up to the top of the screen. Because normally you're supposed to use his pipe cannons in order to hit Ludwig down, but by doing what I just did in the very beginning of the fight, you skip the whole attack phase in general, which saves 6 seconds. So, you know, 3-Ghost was kind of a bit of a mishap, but aside from that, that was still a pretty good World 5 otherwise. And now here we are in World 6, which is actually the final world, so we're actually almost done with the run. So, yeah, unlike in traditional Mario games where there's like 8, in this game there's 6, with a few bonus worlds that we don't do in this run. So 6-1 has these flying meteors, which normally are RNG, but as long as you move really fast within this level, you should never have to worry about the randomness of the falling meteors. In categories where you get star coins, such as 100%, you do have to worry about the RNG of this level because you might have probably saw it. There's a star coin surrounded by some blocks that you have to use meteors in order to break those blocks. But we don't have to worry about that in this category. So 6-Ghost House is a bit of a complicated level because you'll go to one side of the ghost house and then and then the other side, which would look very similar. But I went through this level so many times to where I know exactly what the fastest path of this ghost house is. So we're gonna go inside this door over here. That sign tells me to go left, but I'm gonna ignore that and instead go right back into this door. And then face backwards in order to get this boo out of the way. Hit that switch, go inside this door, which will take us to the secret exit. Let's see if I can get this. So if you wall jump frame perfectly up that climb, then you can actually save 2 wall jumps, which can save a second. I didn't get it, but that's okay. So the secret exit will take us to 6-A, which is a bit of a simple level. Otherwise, the normal path through World 6 requires you to go through 2 very difficult levels that feature very difficult skips. So what we have instead is a simpler level than those 2. The gimmick behind this level is that there's rising lava, but you move so fast within this level that you never really see the lava rising.
So one of the benefits of this level is probably casually, like, difficult, but since we're so fast at speedrunning, then it makes it easy.
Yeah. So then I fly up there, grab that star. Normally would save a little bit of time, but because I messed up grabbing that star, I ended up kind of losing time in the process, but that's okay. I just wanted to show off that you can get that star. But now coming up is 6-Tower. In an any percent run, it would be the hardest level of the run, because the first half of the level is very technical climb. A lot of hitting the flamethrowers to turn them off, and dry bones as well. And then the second half of the level has an auto-scroller skip. So here it is. And you want to make sure you land on something periodically in order to get your P-speed back, so that way you can keep on flying upwards. And there it is. Okay, so then final Reznor fight. Here we go. So this time this room is very large. Nice. Okay, so now we have 3 more levels left within the run itself. Starting off with 6-4. There is a skip towards the very end of the level, and I'm basically spending the whole level here setting up a very precise P-speed in order to skip the moving platform section. So here we go. Gonna get this crow out of the way, just like that. So here's the... Okay, there we go. So if I didn't get that P-speed, I would have had to ride that platform all the way through the rest of the level. It's very slow. So when you fly over that large section, you save quite a bit of time. And then 6-5 has these statues that shoot fireballs, and they're not on a global cycle or anything like that. But what I will do is there are 2 parts where there's so many obstacles that a normal jump doesn't clear them, but a triple jump can. Now a triple jump goes higher than a normal jump, so there's 2 parts where I'm going to be setting up triple jumps in order to... Here's one. As you can see, you can't clear that with a normal jump, and then you cannot clear this with a normal jump. So those are 2 very precise triple jumps that I very precisely set up in order to jump over all those obstacles. And now coming up is 6-Castle, which is the final level of the run. And this entire level is essentially just a gauntlet of very precise movements, auto-scroller skips. So let's see how this goes here. So in the first part of this level, there's a damage boost I'm going to do because there's not a good way of getting past this part otherwise. So here we go. Use the iframes to go through those flamethrowers. Re-equip my leaf. Jump over all those flamethrowers. And then now in this next room, this is an auto-scroller skip. You're supposed to ride the green block snake across the room, but you can just fly instead, skipping it. Now, this next room is the hardest room, because now the Koopalings are back, but this time what they're going to do is they're going to do a flash attack, and when you're not behind the walls... Oh, that's not good. Okay, yeah, I was gonna see, when you're not behind the walls, then you get turned to stone. And as you can see, there's a lot of parts where if you're not behind the walls, then you're probably going to fall into the lava. So, a little bit unfortunate there in the beginning, or well, like at that part, but that's okay. At least I didn't get punished for it. I did make the rest of the room a little bit awkward, so I took it safe. Wait for their flash attack. Want to dodge all these fireballs? They're not random, so you can move the same way and dodge them every single time. But now we got the Bowser fight. Here we go. Oh, yes, I did it. Oh my goodness.
Clean.
So that is actually kind of somewhat of a precise jump. You do have to jump at a very specific part of the fights. Otherwise, if you jump too early, then you are going to get knocked back, and if you jump too late, then you'll clear the jump, but then you'll get hit anyway. So it is pretty precise. But oh no, what's this? What happened to Princess Peach? I thought that was it. What is happening?
Oh no.
Well, the Koopalings are doing something. Oh, wow. He's back, and he's giant. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the escape sequence. So it's essentially an auto-scroller, but you can actually speed up the auto-scroller by making it to the top section as fast as you can. So the way this works is I actually count the number of times that Bowser swipes in order to know when to fly up to the next part. So as you can see right there, I counted 4 swipes and then flew up. So that way it advances the auto-scroller quicker. This next part right here, you can get up to the next section within 4 swipes as well, but it doesn't matter if you do that because Bowser will always do a 5th swipe. Now you can't just go up right away because not everything, objects don't load until they're near the camera. Which is why you have to play out some of the auto-scroller within this escape sequence. So now we get to the 3rd section, which is actually the last section, and you can get up to the next part within 3 swipes. So there's a giant switch at the very top, and as soon as I hit it, then that's when time ends. Fine.
GG.
Thank you. All right, my timer says 47:13. All right, I'm happy with the run.
As Bowser falls into the lava that he summoned, I believe. Where
Yeah.
can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm live 3 to 4 days a week, between 3 and 4 days a week on twitch.tv/mchan338. I do speedruns of Mario games and Zelda games. And I'm also on YouTube, youtube.com/itsmchan338, where I do Let's Plays. So if you want to see more than just speedruns out of me, then my YouTube is where you'll be seeing much of the variety content out of me. Yeah, so thank you to the Power with Pride staff for allowing me to be a part of Fireside Pride. It's always a pleasure being a part of these events. I've been part of these events for 6 years now, and it's always an honor every single time. This community is awesome. Thank you, Valiant Sun, for being host.
Thank you for having me. It's delightful to host for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, again, thank you everybody for watching, thank you to everybody who puts this together. I'm sure it's never easy putting together something like this. It takes a lot of hard work, the charity that we're raising money for this event is always a great cause. So everybody, please keep supporting the marathon. Yeah, so I already ran my 2 games for the event, and we still have the entire weekend left to go. So, we have the marathon. We're still on day 2 out of 4, so we still have a lot ways to go for to raise a large amount of money for charity. So. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the marathon.
Thank you so much, mchan, and we'll see everybody around after this real quick break. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Fireside Pride 2024. That was my last run to host for the evening, but good news is that I am going to be back tomorrow, so I would love for y'all to send so many donations in for these upcoming runs, because those bid wars that are open, I get to read the results of them tomorrow. So please continue to send in donations, especially as we roll into the absolutely lovely, amazing host, Dangerous. See y'all tomorrow.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Dangerous, and welcome back to Fireside Pride 2024. I am very, very happy to be here and to be your host, and I'm super, super excited for the upcoming run because we have the incomparable, the lovely Astra the Horror Girl running Turok 3 Shadow of Oblivion. And that is going to be a very, very exciting run to watch. While we are still getting set up for that, just want to let you all know that we are, in fact, raising money for... If I could pull up the thing here, there's a long list of things to read here for Point of Pride. Point of Pride is a trans-led 501c3 nonprofit organization, and they've served tens of thousands of people in all 50 states and 100 plus countries by providing access to gender-affirming health and wellness services. All of your donations over the course of this marathon go to this wonderful cause. Donations, much like this one that came in from Nantsu for $10 that says, delicious new soup run. Thank you very much, Nantsu.